2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Mount Hawthorn or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Well, of course, round 1 of the AFL season gets underway tonight, and our WA teams get to play football this weekend for the first time this year. But there's not one person in the street talking about this now. Not one.
Well, are you reigniting this feud again?
Absolutely. The people are talking about is the fact
what people?
The people all of them.
The people who are directly involved,
Ross,
and no one else.
You've heard the people talking?
I've heard you going on for about 15 minutes in our pre-show meeting, and we couldn't talk about anything because you're so fired up about the situation.
Well, the old West Coast Eagles retirees / the Fremantle Dockers retirees face off in the Port to Pub, swimming to Rottnest.
Every
it's
year?
happening this Saturday, and it's been happening for years. Last year, Will Schofield joined the team of the West Coast Eagles. Because he joined the team, they were victorious. This year, there's been some scandal.
Well, was that the reason, or was it the fact that you weren't swimming with your team last year because you went solo like Robbie Williams? Is it that?
Time
Is that
to go
more
solo. Time to go solo, I said. Back to you guys. No, I think Will's a great swimmer, and he would have beaten us anyway.
Okay, Harry Styles.
Exactly.
I just had to give it a more modern reference.
But yesterday we were speaking to Scully, and it was announced that they had an Olympic swimmer in their team. Well, the
Who
WhatsApp
had worked
groups
with the West Coast
went
Eagles
nuts.
for
The West
years?
Coast Eagles. Mm-hmm. Scully, come in, my friend.
Are you okay, Shaun?
He's
this
not
another,
okay, Scully.
It's not.
Well, is this another... I mean, this is just reeks of Fremantle West Coast from days gone by.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Freo. West Coast are going to win another flag, and Freo kick up a stink and whinge and cry. And, this is just a debacle.
It is a debacle. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Andrew Gaff punching Andrew Brayshaw. That's what it reminds me of. Because he didn't see it. We didn't see it coming that you're just going to throw an Olympian into the.
To be fair, I don't think Gaffy's are coming either.
What does this remind me of? 2015 when if Freo had have actually held up their end of the bargain in the prelim and beaten Hawthorn, then we might have been a chance in the grand final.
That's a great point.
You stuffed us there as well.
Straight sets, actually, that year. Straight sets.
So what's the issue here, Shaun?
He's complained to everybody, Scully. He's called people. He's been talking to organisers and everything.
What do you have the biggest issue with? That Dean Peters is a Rottnest champion or that he's an Olympic swimmer?
I don't know which one I'm fearful of more,
You
actually.
didn't
That's a
just
good
pluck
point.
him off the street. He did work at the Eagles for 10 years.
Natalie, don't stick up for your team in this manner.
You're saying he didn't play, but he was involved at the club for an extended period of time. That's accurate.
He's a life member. He's a life member of the West Coast Eagles.
Sean, he's a life member.
Mate, plenty of people are life members.
Well, why don't you get them to swim for you?
If we have a boxing fight, then we'll bring in Springer. He's a life member of our club, and he'll punch everyone out.
That's fine. We're not boxing to Rottnest, though, mate.
Although that would add a little certain something if you did underwater boxing. Yes.
So Scully, once we stopped talking yesterday, that you got a few messages come through because I did speak to Kynwyn, and she had put out an email to Drew Banfield and said, "Sorry, this can't happen." So did you guys get a few messages?
So we clarified and checked with the race organisers that this could happen, which is why it was happening. You've then whinged. It's now been reversed, and I can reveal right now, and I'm not telling you who it is. We have a 6th swimmer. We've actually signed another swimmer. and I tell you what, if you thought Dean Peters was bad, you're going to like our 6th swimmer, mate.
You're going to wish it was Dean Peters.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Is it Michael Phelps?
Is it Michael Phelps?
That's right, Shaun. Ian Thorpe with all his glory.
With all his glory.
He was an amazing centre-half back too.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ian Thorpe can swim in your team, but as we know, the full suit is banned. And it has been banned for many Olympics.
Look, all I'll say, Shaun, right, is if we beat you without Dean Peters, you may have to retire as a team. You may actually
just
have
give
to
it
finish
away.
up. Do you agree?
No, I agree. You did put that in a message to me, and I did speak to a couple of the boys saying that, imagine if they beat us now. This is going to look shit out.
You've thrown such a tanty. So you do have a 6th swimmer, or are you just going to do it with 5 now?
We do have a 6th swimmer. I'm not sure where they've come from. They have been a player. I don't know how we've signed them with 48 hours to go. I'm unaware
What's
of
their prep
fitness
like?
levels.
Yeah.
It's probably about the same as mine in Melbourne right now for the F1. And for some footy tonight, Richmond Carlton. I haven't got a lot of swimming done in the last couple of weeks. I'm probably swimming in a little bit of beer rather than a little bit of water.
But your first 50 strong, though, Scully, as we've alluded to.
Yes, as we discussed. I'm good over 50. Anything over 51, I'm in trouble.
This is going to be a long day for everyone.
Is the 6th swimmer the new one, the replacement? Is it just Dean Peters in a wig? Is that what's going on?
It is.
So Ash McIntosh, who it seems to be the most disgruntled with
He is very much.
because Milton is probably our poorest swimmer, and he was very much looking forward to spending a great deal of time on the boat while Dean was swimming. He did suggest that maybe we could just shave Dean's head and chuck him in the water.
I mean, does anybody know what he looks like? Do you know what he looks like? If you could you pick him out of a lineup?
Oh, me personally, no.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point, Scully. He won't know, seriously.
Maybe he's swimming. Shaun, as I said yesterday, mate, it's Thursday. We're 48 hours out. I will see you at Rottnest. We will be waiting for you.
The showdown is on.
Words, all right.
Scully, thanks for your time, mate.
Go
Look
the
forward
Eagles.
to seeing you covering all the action on the footy and, more importantly, at the Rotto Bar.
Yes, correct. I'll see you there, mate.
May the best team win.
Or the cheating team.
Especially if Dean Peters is swimming, they'll be the best team, that's for sure.
Mate.
Thanks, Scully.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Mount Hawthorn or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Well, finally, round 1 of the footy is underway tonight. And what a blockbuster we've got on our hands. It's Richmond, who are going to be the worst team in the competition. They'll win the wooden spoon up against Carlton, who promised a bit like Freo.
Yes.
Carlton. They promised the world. They've delivered an atlas so far.
Yeah.
What's your pick for Eagles Dockers?
This year? What do you mean, finishing?
Yeah.
Oh, the Eagles will be bottom 3. No doubt about
top
it.
of the bottom 3.
Bottom 3.
They're going to tussle with North Melbourne.
Well, Richmond are terrible.
Yeah.
And North Melbourne and Eagles will fight it out. I think North Melbourne are going to be...
They've got a bit...
I think they're going to improve better than the Eagles, I think, across the board.
Interesting.
What do you think about that call, Nat?
I
As
can
an
see
Eagles
where you're
supporter?
coming from. And because I watched, I don't put any faith in pre-season form at all.
Mm-hmm.
But the game they played down in Bunbury, where North Melbourne and the Eagles faced off, ultimately the Eagles won. It was, the toss of the coin there. But North Melbourne showed a lot of promise. You can see there's a lot of run, a lot of good young players in there.
Yeah.
And some older, Jack Darling, had he kicked even one of the 3 goals in the first quarter, it might have made a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
They were the better team if you were not to have a scoreboard up there. But that doesn't matter. Who cares? The scoreboard's the one that that matters, right?
Gov in the paper today said they're doing different things at training.
Oh, have they? Is one of them football though?
Ross, this is going to be. You know why this is going to be a great day? Because you read the paper this morning.
Ross has read the paper.
And so you're going to be quoting it all day long.
Yeah. Who's the loser who read the paper today? Hands up.
So the good thing about Richmond and being a supporter of them, in a few years' time, they're going to be back up the top.
Because they're going to get a million draft picks.
Yep, they got them all this year, the way that they decided, which is not a bad strategy. Think about what they did last year. So Liam Baker, vice-captain their club. They unloaded him to West Coast.
Because he wanted to leave.
And he wanted to leave, and they got good stuff back.
Yes.
Fremantle got Shea Bolton. Rioli went up to the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
They made the most of those real quality players and unloaded them
They
in the event.
capitalised on their trades.
Yeah, and not only finishing last. So next year will be the same, or this year coming at the end of the season will be the same. They'll get a whole stack of champion players, and they'll be right in about 3 or 4 years' time. They'll be really good again. Moving on, the AFL.
I don't like that.
No, it's I mean, to bottom out as hard as they have, but make them... Because no other teams dish their good players out or let them go.
Yeah, that's right.
Because all those guys had long-term contracts at Richmond, particularly Shea Bolton. He had another 3 years, 4 years. So did Rioli. I think Liam Baker, well, he's a unrestricted free agent. So he had a chance of going, but at least they got something out of him. So they did really well. Moving on to the AFL and the big kahuna, Andrew Dillon was out speaking a few different messages yesterday. One of them, the media were asking him about the idea of opening up the channels to American athletes. Now, we've seen Mason Cox still playing for Collingwood. No one else has been a real success coming over from the US because it's a complicated game. It's a big oval. It's hard to do, hard to get around, and the skill.
That you can't. They don't wear a lot of padding and helmets and things. They're not used to it.
No, but Andrew Dillon says the AFL are going to push ahead with this.
Oh, look, I think it's small steps at the moment, but I think if we can get that. The athletes coming into Australia, I think that's a really good opportunity. We have got a number of our players now playing American football over there, which is fantastic, and I think that's great for our game. I think there's opportunities for our game in the US market, but I think there's just different ways of going about it.
I mean, it's tricky because they don't play a sport that naturally translates.
No.
The thing is, if you're an AFL player here and you're a good long kick, you can translate that to being a punter. But it's difficult for a punter to come the other way back because they're required to do a bit more stuff. And Gaelic football is the natural because there's crossover skills wise, and so you can see why so many Irish players, both men and women, have come out here to play, and it's been a success. But they don't play a sport that naturally translates.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And Jordan Mailata, having him go from rugby into the NFL and be successful, I feel like this is a response to that. So there's been a lot of attention on the fact that he's won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Why aren't we bringing them back the other way?
Yeah, but you're right, Nat. Ross, there's no similar sports over there, although there are competitions over in the States.
Oh, yes, but they're mostly expats playing.
They can go over there and just kick. Just kick. But you come over here, you've got to do it all.
You've got to do other things. Yeah. Great point.
Thank you.
Did you read that in the paper?
That was my own stuff.
Okay, good.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Mount Hawthorn or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.